happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital, while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders: customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we look forward to greater achievements, we are rebranding to reflect who we are today and the future that we inspire. Our new logo has been designed to visually demonstrate our Gambian heritage and the sophisticated nature of the bank. We are moving away from the navy and gold-colored parallelogram-shaped logo to our baobab tree with a rising sun in the background. The striking outline of a baobab tree at sunrise is a familiar sight to anyone who has spent time in the Gambia. Our new logo and visual identity are inspired by our core values and spirit of being a pioneer in providing a unique banking experience. It is a completely new look that better matches the transformation we have made as a company. But we remain your Trust Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to present to you our new logo and corporate identity.
fay lempo warugal la si képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,400 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu si $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandiku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugar la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment maanaam bépp contract bu waay joxe te si biir réew mi la ñu toog kon xaalis si contract bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contract warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contract bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokk.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation proudly introduced the Biliomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books, and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Biliomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 474402. GPPC is Gambia and it's yours.
Residency Estate is a community located in Old Yundum, proudly developed by Swami, perfect for all quiet life with luxury amenities within a closed setting. When talking about the benefits of living in a gated community, safety and security is top on the list. They allow extra privacy, take away the hustle of unwelcome solicitors, and create a safe haven for children to play in a trusted environment without traffic or speedy vehicles. A great sense of community develops through the meeting at a controlled communal leisure facilities, offering an integrated lifestyle. A green environment and well-managed communal areas are keys to higher home standards, elevated quality of life, and better property value should you consider home reinvestment in the future. Added to all is the location, just next to the airport and reconstructed main road, yet tucked in the tranquility of nature. Our purpose is one, your satisfaction. Contact us. Let us help you build your dream home in the Gambia.
This season on Kerr Fatou.
The reason I have always called for a national dialogue is because a government must be responsive to the needs of its people.
Fatou.
Tell you one thing, if me as an individual, if I know that there is somebody that I definitely wrong, I will be bold enough, I will go to the person, I will appeal to him and apologize him.
decision today, because I don't make decisions lightly. I investigate. I do my research. I get the facts. I call the experts. I summon meetings. I get the technicians. Then I reflect and I make a decision.
Why did you lose the election?
Well, we lost the election because of treatment registration. We had evidence of people being registered before the opening of the registration.
Hello and welcome to another edition of our show. Today it's Thursday. What is the date today? 13th?
April 13th.
April 13th, and we have 3 days to the election. Saturday is the councillors' election across the country, and we have been talking to candidates. Today we are not able to get any candidate here because they are campaigning. All of them said they are campaigning, they cannot leave. It's last minute, do or die. Of course, we are supposed to have Honorable Ami Koli of Fonyi Berefet and Honorable Momodou Sabally, and he had to come to our rescue last minute. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Esa, the show is back today, and today we'll be talking about the local government election. But before we start all of that, we will also be talking about what's trending. What's trending is still University of the Gambia. University of the Gambia is what is still trending. Last week we talked about the issue, we talked about what was going on, but finally, I think we got a reaction from the UTG. And according to the UTG, they are still investigating. And the prime suspect has been investigated. So that only shows that this incident did happen. The UTG said the prime suspect has been investigated by the panel. A panel has been set up and the investigations are going on. But the Watson Gambia, who were the ones that really unveiled this, started putting out so much information. At this point, there was no way the university could not react, because obviously informations were coming out. They had to react. They issued a statement. After that, last night, the ministry also issued a statement, and the minister said they have asked the UTG to bring them a comprehensive report. The reaction from the UTG and the ministry, have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, well, in fact, I confirmed that this happened.
You confirmed
last
too,
week,
but from the authorities?
Yeah, from the authorities this time around. No, I was not speaking on behalf of the university, but then I confirmed that this happened because when the story was out, I was quoted. I was part of those lecturers that were quoted, where I said that I was not going to upload my grades until something is done about this issue. And of course, that goes to confirm that something really happened. And so, but then the communication from the university and the ministry, especially from the UTG, and this is what I told you last week. I think where the UTG messed up a bit was, the lack of communication. They were not communicating.
Yeah.
And this incident happened, it was raised. I told you that I personally, I was the one who raised this before the authorities.
Yeah.
Through email. And that's why I said, even the What's on Gambia, what they quoted, where I said I was not going to upload my grades.
Yeah.
I never said that on the staff WhatsApp page because I'm not even part of that WhatsApp page.
Yeah.
I left that page more than 6 months ago. But I mean, I said this in an email communication with the Vice Chancellor and the authorities, where I insisted that I was not going to upload my grades. But this was since January, I think January 19, when this issue was raised. And the university, of course, the Vice Chancellor responded to my email to say that, they were going to do something about it because it was a serious matter.
Yeah.
But then since then, no communication was made.
Can you guys increase the volume, please?
To the university community. They did not communicate to the university community.
Yeah.
And I felt like the leadership is also about communication at some point. You have to communicate to the people.
Yeah.
This is where the mess was created. If they had communicated to the university communities, I mean, bring out a memo to say, we're aware of this, it's been brought to our attention, and the Vice Chancellor will act accordingly. After the setting up of the commission, they could have also communicated to say, we have set up a panel of investigation to investigate this matter. Then people will know that at least something is being done about it. But since then, I mean, this is the first time you'll be surprised that probably in fact, even some staff of UTG were never aware that there was an investigative panel that was set up because the university did not communicate to that effect when this was being set up. So I felt like, you see, when you don't communicate, you create room for speculations. People will speculate and they will think you didn't act. And that is why, in fact, when it was out on Watson Gambia, a lot of people are not aware that the university indeed set up an investigative panel. And I think I mentioned that here last week, that they really have done something, that is by investigating the act. But then the university was not communicating, and I think that was so problematic. But that's why I said that, in fact, when this issue was raised, the university should have also acted on time. Knowing Gambia, information cannot be kept for so long in secret. It will go out eventually. Who are the whistleblowers or whatever insiders will be there. But then so if they had acted on time by doing the right thing, because like I said, for me, the evidence are just so ample out there. Even though I don't want to comment further on a lot of things because it's an investigation, they are yet to submit their report. But we are being told that they are done with their investigation, but they are yet to submit their report. So that shows that, in fact, a lot of us were not even aware that the investigation was done, because we expected that probably some people should have been invited to the panel to testify. I mean, I wouldn't go into that, who are the people that should, because it might sound like as if I'm doubting the credibility of the investigative panel. But I felt like the university should have communicated way earlier, and it's good now they are coming out to communicate. But what is important here is not only to communicate to people, but do the right thing, take the right action. And also it's important that the ministry, as the line ministry, when the university is under, is also communicating to people to tell us exactly what position they have taken. And also the Students' Union, as a critical stakeholder
they also
in this
issued
whole
a
thing,
statement,
they also issued a statement. Well, we expected probably a staff association to issue a statement, but also, I mean, this is not out there for a lot of people out there, those outside, but those in the university know that this staff association, in fact, indeed write to the Vice Chancellor when this issue was out within the university. They wrote to the Vice Chancellor asking him to do something about it, to immediately act on the issue. So I felt like all stakeholders should act on it. I mean, it's a very serious matter, but we hope that the right thing will be done to ensure that the integrity of the university is preserved. I mean, UTG, like I said last week here, in as much as we have our challenges, and this is a very unfortunate incident, because I've seen a lot of comments, some people going to the extent of even questioning degrees in UTG and all that. I mean, these things are unfortunate, definitely. But then, like I said, UTG has also produced very brilliant minds in this country who are contributing to all facets of development in this country, towards the socio-economic advancement of this country. Of course, our very guest here was the first UTG valedictorian. So, I mean, a lot of other brilliant minds that UTG has produced. And like I said, personally, as a lecturer, I've interacted with, different students, all kinds of students. Yes, some are really weak, like I said. I don't even know how they find themselves in UTG. But then you also have very hardworking, innocent, and students who are from very disadvantaged background, who are struggling every day to make sure that they do the right thing in UTG. But then these are things that happen, unfortunately, and then it's bad for the reputation of the university. And at some point, everybody feels guilty. Students, everybody will feel guilty, because as long as the investigations are not done, nothing is clear out there, people can say, well, you were one of them.
That's
and
why
even the lecturers,
that's why it will be very good for us to have a quick recovery.
Yeah, but I also feel like, Fatou, that's just one thing that I want to say, and that's a very important part, because I feel like at some point, there is a lot of misinformation out there with this whole thing.
You cannot stop that as long as the university is not coming out to address this properly. Because I reached out to the university and I said, I offered them the platform to come and talk to the people, because this is very important. We're talking about thousands of students who have gone through this university, and the credibility issues will affect even some past students, because once you say I'm from the UTG, these credibility issues will come into play. So that is why it is for the authorities to come out and clarify this. Putting out a statement is not just enough.
It's not enough.
I think it would have been
just
better,
one thing that I wanted to say,
but to go out and
if I may come in, Fatou, lest I just become a mere spectator.
No.
I know Esa is on the defensive as a member of the university community.
Anyway.
All I'm picking out of this is two things that Esa said, and I think he's absolutely right. One, leadership. Two, communication. Both of them are absent. And guess who is the chancellor of the university? President Adama Barrow. The body goes where the head leads it. The UTG, like Esa said, I think it's quite a credible institution that has really created a stupendous impact on the lives and livelihoods of Gambians,
Yeah.
Poor young Gambians who would have had stunted growth if it were not for the existence of this university. People coming, building their capacity, going to the level of building other people's capacity like ESA is doing. But the fact is, we have a problem at the university. And unfortunately, these same university students who are the most vociferous critics of anything that happens in this country would never, ever even entertain a public debate about things happening in this university. This is just the last one. It's just one of the symptoms of the malaise at that university. You know, I mean, for God's sake, talking about communication, who is the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia? Have we ever seen him talk to Gambians in any public space? If you show me his picture, I would not recognize him. So the university, and I'll take it back to Barrow because he's the Chancellor, he's the President of the Republic. We have a public university that is struggling to get cash power to light up the classrooms, that is struggling to get the students decent toilet facilities, that is struggling to give their School of Engineering public, respectable laboratories. That same institution under President Barrow decided to create a new University of the Gambia. And I was one of the few people who came out to condemn this decision. Because it's one thing to create quantity of graduates, but what we need right now more than is quality. So the government should have focused on the UTG, perhaps with that focus and taking out that ceremonial leadership there of the president, because Jama was never a ceremonial leader of the UTG. He was involved, he was interested. So it is President Barrow, and this is a reflection of the really lowering down of standards in this country. A reflection of the desecration of the moral fabric of this country. It's not just UTG. We've had a lot of sex scandals, nudes going around. I don't entertain it, I don't encourage it. If you send me somebody's nude, I just delete it. But this has been happening, and President Barrow knows that top government officials, even at State House, have been involved in sex scandals. What does he do? He goes and takes photo ops with them to show them that it's okay. Why wouldn't the university students follow? I'm glad there is investigation. I hope it will not just be like the Faraba investigation report and the others that come in, and they'll see if the lecturer is pro-Barrow or not. And we know some lecturers were canvassing for votes in this 2021 election, and that's why they became ministers. I hope it will not be the same, that they'll go and cherry-pick who to punish. This is a very serious matter. This university is the nursery bed for the future leaders of this country. We have to correct the wrongs there, otherwise the whole society.
What do you think it will do to the institution?
Well, the whole world is watching. UTG students are not just graduating here to get jobs, because they don't even get jobs here. Anyway, Barrow doesn't care about job creation. They're going to other universities. And those people will have to check what's going on in this university. Are they giving us quality graduates that we can admit and be able to take to the next level? And this is why the leadership and communication thing here, I swear, Professor Kerr is not perfect. But if he were a Vice Chancellor today, he would have taken the right steps. He would have done better than the current leadership of the UTG. This is very shameful. And it should be treated as an emergency. In fact, there should be an emergency cabinet meeting about this. What can the Barrow administration tell these students with what's happening at Brikama Area Council, presidential advisors, National Assembly members of the powers that be? It's sad.
Yeah, but just one thing. I mean, the sex money scandal around this whole great scandal. These are allegations out there.
My friend, everything that you as a political commentator and the students have been saying, they are allegations.
Just allow me.
They are allegations. So don't downplay them.
No, I'm not downplaying.
Of allegations where you yourself, you're saying there's some kind of ample information to suggest that
that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying.
So I just don't want you to downplay because all your commentaries are based on that.
I cannot downplay this. I cannot downplay it. What I'm saying is that now the investigation, like I said, the tampering of grades.
Yeah, did happen.
Those ones are out there. It happened.
Okay.
I told you that I was the one who raised this with the university authorities.
Yeah.
I did this. The evidence are there. And to some extent, like that's why I said even the investigator, I was never called there. I know the reason why I was never invited to go and testify.
Even though you are the one who raised the issue.
Exactly. And I will not delve into that.
Okay.
That's internal in UTG. But then what I'm saying is that it's out there. The evidence is there that it happened.
Yeah.
But for what reason? Why did it happen?
Yeah.
That is why I said the sex and the money part, that is an allegation. Do you get my point? No, what I'm saying is,
why would anybody tamper? Why would anybody
that is what I'm saying.
Either or.
We don't have evidence to say that money was given. We don't have evidence to say that there was sex for these grades to be given. That is what I'm saying.
There was no need for you to refuse to upload your grades.
No. Tampering of grades itself is undone. And that is why I said I was not going to upload my grade, because it was criminal. But this is the point. But the issue of whether sex was involved, money was involved, I am saying this is allegation.
Why would anybody? The reason why
we don't know that because it's not proven before any investigative panel. It's not proven before any competent
Let's say we don't know, but we have ears and we have eyes, and even President Barrow, no matter how much I oppose him, some of the things we say about him, we don't have evidence, but we have reasonable information to believe that it's authentic.
Exactly.
So you cannot give your university for a pass
even with
when
that,
you are criticizing the government every day.
Allegation. So what I'm saying is that I'm not in any way, I cannot downplay. I know the role that I'm playing on this issue, Sabally.
But I know this is media. We know how we behave in media. The point is, Esa, I think,
what do you mean by we know how we behave?
I think you've said enough. I've said enough.
Yeah.
I am campaign manager 2 days before election. Let's go to election.
We will go into that.
I know you are passionate about academics. I'm a politician. I want to talk about local government elections.
I'm so passionate about this issue, Fatou, and there is no way.
Yeah.
That is why I said, okay, he said, okay, we know how we talk in the media. But those people that are in the university will tell you, number one person leading this, not to blow my own trumpet, but they will tell you that somebody so passionate about this is Esa. And I know how some people are not even happy with me at the university about this whole thing.
Yes, I actually agree with you. And that's why I said, I know how we talk in the media. Let's go and solve the problem out there.
No, we will solve it there. But then,
can we talk about my problem? His problem is academics, my problem is politics. Can we talk about politics?
But the misinformation also out there is that, okay, lecturers can edit grades, they can change grades at any time. This is not for every lecturer. This is for people that are given what we call
just like if we say the Borough administration is corrupt, we don't mean that every minister is corrupt. But the criticism is just normal. Please don't try to be
I'm not saying the criticism is not normal. But what I'm trying to say is
why are you trying to single out this one?
It's misinformation, Sabally. If you tell me that all lecturers have right, it means ESA has the right to edit other people's grades.
But let the university come and explain that to us, because they're refusing to talk to us, and we will wait for them. Unless they talk and clarify all these things, we'll get the clear picture of what. But until then, we will rely on what's on Gambia, on what of the things they are giving us, and we will rely on the press statements that are coming from the ministry and the UTG. That's what we can rely on now.
Yes.
And what's on Gambia, they're giving us all these updates. And I
rely on the press release from UTG.
No, I'm relying on what's on Gambia. They are my colleagues.
Yeah, what's on Gambia is
well, it's like ESA is telling me, rely on Sankara's press release about everything.
No.
They're giving us more information. Now, still talking about politics. Before we get to politics proper, President Barrow yesterday commissioned 70 bosses. These bosses, the commission president said this will, obviously it will help ease the transportation issues. I told the GT president of the Omar Sise, Allah strike on Nafata Alakotek, because Nimbosol min nata say, Nalco strike, Bosole Silota. This is a good move for GTSU to have 70 buses added to their fleet of buses to able to ease transportation in the country. What is your reaction when you saw these buses? No politics in this, Sabally. Boso lunatale puruka banko dingol makoy.
Yes.
Yo jenyadi.
Ete yo wale fo bari bosol nata wato menna. Na man na wato la demba fala politiko ti bari tilifula saba jandin carte fayo. President ay mulla kodo ta Essa Njai la kodo ite Fatou Touré la kodo nte Momodou Sabally la kodo ye meng busim bulu dia kuya itata mabo social security wala ta ka kodo di mulla men ya lonko banko la loi bunda le fintite ko wol nimman sakunda manyana safaro hela katu tapale e molle muyti ye banko la nafulo le kasara na di Gambia di ngola fanga se fese ya tumaranke o baro e nyin kodo di walla la boss taworo bosi taworo wala banko kam me yalon ko gele man silo so pour katama amake mulla nafa kamma ke politiko le kamma wala na ke tilifula saba jannin carte fayo baro salon ko Gambia dingol manke toleti billion killing dalaso yata ya dundi boso kunna billion me yalon ko satanu ya dundi dulalto fondin ke wole do ko wosoto bosol me yalon ko satanu julo la katu bosol ka sannun julo la le bari sayin ko wolle be koleyaring mol man trabaro bulu nyin carte fayo men kana solata ko dola be men dunna mol bulu ibe menkela yake bosol nata men dunta posol konon ka moyle malom ne muntije bari ngadon man sakunda te safar sifa kela without money exchanging hands. Politique ko lembar Gambia dingol mansino ko ke ba dibila lola. Ni mol meje ke fanjele konko men nyimbe banko kan manola dabe sharing tulo fondin kewol la doku soto bali amen be keri nyim banko kan ibe fondin kewol murundi kan ibe dame barona la masakundale ake musol be wulula ibe fala tingoto mbalin cham nyol be kumbola every day musol be fa kan Dr. Samati ko political ti akatela doko bete yarene dindin taworo ni woro fenne la tawol ka wol be niyo kasarata nyim banko kan Dr. Samate la doku dinkira wolebe tapale yala Medicines Control Agency mantri la doku ke kan
kunu ye report di barola le kunu ko ye report present barola
amanke report foloti ko jane commission report digital nyame ko mem manyan ni mansakunda manyana ke para safaro ke la billion diala ko faraba commission report nata nyame kutumanteje ani report jama dol baro tilingo anin tonya adate okuto menketan kamen fo len dindi taworo ni woro le fata muni fa men be do ko la health ministry e nyanta pharmacy doku lal ke tilindi e to leke la laysino di wala nani bori kurungol nata musol dingol be fala musol dingol be tula bakwe baro katika bosole samana ka Gambia musol hadani ay mena fo Gambia musol wol ke nyaku talakano la sibito ku sati long ni manke election ti ni mu referendum leti ya fay NPP e sontale ko molu nyanta fala ti ngotole e sontale ko fondinkol manyana do ku sotola e sontale ko Bakari Baji nyanta na ko do talale ay adiala musola e sontale ko Karamba Touré quand même for security report deal ka Gambia dingol forcé pour ye visa jo ka dungila banko kan e sontale ko nyanta kelale mo moy carte o fay barola moye nak koy na fo katon ka men fo nyanku mona dingo be mus menu man lafi barola man maralola men ya lonko iko mano da man nyanna futala da men menu ya lonko i man lafi dingo li fa because of bori kurungol menu man ya lonko iko mpasita musol la fa la tingotole men ya lonko mpasit iko mpasita auditor general ka men fo corruption office of the president health ministry Bakari Baji funding kewol la jakalo anila toro banko kan fo hani fair dula stadium imasoto menu man la fi wala menu ko nyin kanyantale wolle be la carte de la UDP la ani opposition ani independent mol men be lori nyin carte fayol wala be kering boso politico len bar sibito kusati lom baroba lon nale ko Gambia dingol manke toleti e mantra kaba santo sako 500 kaba gatu membe kab 500 kaba kan wala dal ma be sila ita lonna membe keri nyin banko ka
esa boso natale bosi taworola kunu president of covering commission inketa president of dunta boso kono ka boso testata fo brikama ngajele ko mo jama contenta ka jiko service boss service mo fenati mi alon ko ning transport union strike ta wato drong everything can stop in the country. So apart from the politicians, I think that's a good initiative. Yo janyade.
So obviously, nibe nyeng cool analyze la, especially in politician of the diamala, eka timing in jibe bakele. Just like coming when the commission was set up to look into area councils or corruption allegations in area councils, a lot of people complain about the timing. Obviously, even some independent analysts or minded people, you know, looked at the timing, questioned the timing. So it's not a surprise politicians will also question the timing of that. And when it comes to the bosses as well, coming, I'm not agreeing with him entirely, but with regards to the timing, when it came, what came to my mind was, we just a few days before local government elections, council elections, and of course, 1 month per se before the mayoral election, and these bosses are here. Because coming, the mindset of African politicians, mostly politics of infrastructure, nga silol dida, then nga motu bosol samanang, molka fenkan, all that. So although they can influence government's moves when it comes to some of these development initiatives. Woka kelen. But then near Gambia fananjibe na transport system benyaming, it's time that we have a public transport system. Maya lonko buses, for example, nitara Europe banku jamato. Obviously, at you have this transport system.
Yes, I need that nila diamo kono be diamo ba ko tefonga ya lon. Europe ke la public transport ika tamandi nyame fanin takilin telebang Gambia mune record no but let me learn itelen dundije mam fam force.
Okay, sange bondije. Okay, sange bondije.
Sange bondije. Bawo nga datele. Esa GPTC mune ketela tarikoti munana GPTC kasarata fo GTSC nata munana gamtel kasarata munana port nying albala corruption membeje abiye munana mansa kundala doku bundal IMF ni World Bank afo ko ngabondi mansa kunda bulu ngadi business dal munana fature la Kerr Fatou a barakata a darajata man sakunda buka business o keno abuka work esa wolen toñati membe Europe ati jam barona la
that's what I'm saying.
dundi de mbe jansa kanne
development dundi la development no the development is at a different level. We know that certainly the development is at a different level in Europe or Tubabdu and the so-called developed world. And the developments are at a different level. But then you can start doing a little. And it's important, it's time, even though we need to address a whole lot of issues, challenges, face can come out. But then it's not bad for us to invest in public transport system in this country.
Using pensioners' funds.
My point is,
GTSC can be for and all that, GPTC, Tariko and Multimedia is unfortunate how these institutions could not even be sustained in the Gambia. But then what I'm trying to say is that Fonga invest in a public transport system. In a public transport system, Fonga invest because Akamuneke it's also good. Safaro Fonga Karola, economy Fonga Kalora. There is an economist I understand. It's also good for that. Aka effectiveness and efficiency, Akole Fana encourage in public service delivery. So Akumada la Purunga invest J. The Nada Nunko Boso Nin sort of the like some will question. Yes, then that is also important in terms of transparency and accountability. To ensure that Kodo Nying also Nilmel Santa is the right way. Corruption mankeje, it was done in the right way. Mola Kodonia Dunda Kunna because public funding, there should be transparency in that. So Boso Sotonya Ning, Ofanam Kumatale. It's just like the other time when President Baroning NPP1. Kabira Afenka, there were people who were, I remember I was on a talk show, there was this talk show, of course, I mean, I wouldn't mention it, but then talk show, when the issue came, they were like, okay, let's talk about it. Eko Nadia Mala, because it's a good step, President Baro Menke, a better atale, Jamela time work, a state vehicle is Baro Nada Fele, NPP1. Yes, Wokumatale. Yes, it's important that state resources are separated from party resources because that itself no akitaka democracy makwele. But then mem kumata koneke mem follow jibela wala mko nyim moto nyim fam asotata nyaadire. Aske no state resources ya wala use pour ka moto nyim fam sang. And it's very easy pour ka number plate where I think of the NPP1. That's very easy to do. So anin jamete different la me alonko amon number plate le falling, you know number plate falling. But ndama any evidence sort of coming state fund the user, but then I'm saying fonga nyul fanam question asotata nyadi. So you fanam bole nyama this boso men sotata. Yes, it's good that we invest in our public transport system and boso will help in that. Natar nunko imang proper maintenance. Meli alon ko be responsible ngala. You know, you the doko ka nyama transport system on yetara run effectively and efficiently. But then kodo ñu sotata ñameng for atata right way because ngana ko contract jama ka Gambia jang especially National Audit Office report ka membondi a lot of contracts have been deviously negotiated mais alon ko the right procedures were not followed natar nun ko ñu bosol France o feneti mais alon ko kisitiro ñanta kala ka long but entirely the idea of having investing in a public transport system, I welcome it wholeheartedly.
And honestly, I was amazed with the bosses because obviously our transport system needs to be built because but just like the procurement process, there are two things and I think it's important as public officials for example, the Jane Commission, Cabran Lotano, the most things me are significant and molia raised on former President Nakoto, Ikaka pensioners funds le use, aka parastatals and in other companies will support. And work it in the center of the Jane Commission there. Where people like Lai Chamnyol, Social Security, they are not working at Social Security today because they won't sign ka Jamme Empower. Ye bondi do kola. Lai is my friend, and I know about somebody like him was removed because of some of those things.
Victimized, not just removed.
Some of those things were removed.
Him continue to work in Barrow's cabinet.
Because Wolule Jame Empower, ka Social Security funds ta mola taxpayers' money. So naya tra nyimbo sol sanda kodomina wofana mu waleti den nkamuru mbota damine. Womo feneti kachal nyanta fanola wo konol. Andum fulanyango the Jane Commission la report ko TK Motors and some other companies, Mansakundani manyana business okela furu sanji lulu because of yetinyaro minke banko kang, yetinyaro minke in the system ka tinyaro ke do bala kodola. even though government white paper yo upheld ko no bari di fakko jane commission yo race le nde lata ko company be nyim banko kanne ila boss do min tamita jang Mohamed Jalle sang banko dingolo dol fanan bi jenne min se nyim bossol sanno nin government lafta ka example o set nin commission o ko alin kana nyinke you understand even though it only upheld right I think by just pour kasilo normal right good practice nyanta for okay even though nyimbe keri but today I was talking to somebody before ngana insure and amade mfonya ko actually even before commission report they were doing business with TK Motors so wo fanan kamin tandi dro wolonko na system o nka mfongo ka fengol do kule ngana ngatinya
no member just what I said coming we've witnessed that and like I said even the National Audit Office report you'll bondile ko a lot of contracts under the Barrow government are dubiously negotiated me alon ko tilingo bikatareje transparency bikatareja ka kenyame and that is why I said that yes we can welcome it and I welcome the idea of investing in a public transport system. But then the process that is used in purchasing these vehicles and all that is something that people can question and even hold the government to account for that. And that's something that
in other words, you are giving your stamp of approval in terms of leadership and management of the borough administration.
As in?
Because company member is a state-owned enterprise. So ni ko nyant ko do nyanta dunna jere then you are okay with managing our resources.
Don't misquote
de facto that's what
no don't misquote me.
Okay, let me carry it's good to invest in our public transport system.
Yes. It is good that we invest in our public transport system. Now, process member Usla, Mafoko wholeheartedly welcome the idea of getting these buses. Puruka na transport ko. Puruka invest in our public transport system.
That is a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Obviously,
and it's time that we start thinking. But then Kodome used and you used and Puruka Nimbosol Soto. That is the responsibility of every citizen, myself, yourself, and Fatou and everybody else out there. Puruka question
can I talk
and now? I said that this government is known for dubiously negotiating contracts. Public Finance Act or law has been violated in this country a lot of the times. Contractual certain time. So I don't want to be misquoted out there because
actually may misquote question whether you approve of the leadership and management of this borough administration.
Whether I approve the leadership and management of the borough administration?
Yes.
There is no way that Sabally. I think that's a rhetorical question.
Well, then keep quiet. If it is a rhetorical question, and it actually is, just allow me to flow.
Okay, flow now.
So saying, under this environment of rampant and outrageous corruption, and really beyond corruption jawiata even misil mayato ni jeno ke is one thing but ni ko jeno man haram okay bondi misil maya konole osifal baro ye woleke ko auditor general's report is maya opinion in that kind of leadership and administration there is no way you can justify investing $1 billion of pensioners funds into any institution, even if that institution is like as saintly as whatever, because Barrow saying even the appointments the firings is about whether you like him or not. So taking $1 billion, it just doesn't make any business sense for $200 billion bulu bi. Iko ibe Kerr Fatou kela international TV station itela billion tala yake je ibita bank le julota. So nye mentandi walen ko chodi ral ka men chodi tumando bato wala bije ko do to dir tarik lale bar falingo talanta nyote male amanke ku kendeti amanke sila kendeti banko kamme yalonko university karandir lal ike jo men na amesi university karandir lal imam moto kendol soto pour kata karamoto university students all iman jonkon seniaring all soto iman classroom all soto iman engineering lab soto funding ke wol be jila do ko wala iman do ko soto no o 1 billion as a no tourism le as a senelal ma ko no le the multiplier effect même be bola agriculture o be do ko wol men create la funding ke wole o se keno game changer tele bari ye bosol samanang ye kurango dala fa ye essence dala fa say mol be mira men na fo paso fa ngabe soto no la bang silo tije natra tonya ngani ya kendole bela ise batu fo la nyimbe din silo men dabal ka wo ye pare politico leng bari gambien kol manke tolati Saturday, Safa Nyakoto, Lip Dorong, a parliamentary election.
So, you mean the presidential?
Ali Mohamed Jai menken na ngawolo ne ko bi jela ni sai Ali Mohamed Jai tapale ya menken bari alo
ngawala mo ka
ngama alan ko kan ne ka Ali Mohamed Jai tatule yemu menketa len once bitten twice shy yake December mo neketa parliamentary after a landslide nga minimize le buba sana njay nyol tata mas janko sambusa na la gele intercept at the border jara funding ke tata border be menkela Saturday obekela tariko obekela next level that
talking about election Ali Momodou Njie, this story that came today from Standard ala Ali Momodou Njie la contract Standard ko kabri ala contract was in 2016. Naturally 2023 April 7 anyanta expire. Eko kabri na di amtanu interview ako eko 2023 April la contract be banna. Actually coach Pasamba Jawle ni race on coffee time West Coast ka foko atol be sirine bar Ali Momodou Njie la contract fal yal ne ka expire tale. That was when the ministry when Peter contracted the ministry and ministry co no, actually he told a records that I new contract so in 2018. But the mommy contract so the 2016. What a contract could also do 2018 because the contract was 7 years late. So meaning night contract.
And change of government doesn't matter here.
Change of government doesn't matter. So not a contract so the 2016 or the 2018 and expired 2023. So standard ko Aliou Momodou Njie kabria check nung sometime in 2020 akoy ko 2023 le ala contract be banna. But kunun kabria check akoy ko no ya renew le 2025 la be banna. Now this is our chief electoral officer. Saturday long election oti. What does this all mean?
Yeah, I think at some point, before you come to him, at some point, at the Fongo lab, because interviewing, I think they called him.
Yeah.
At some point, Akoko 2025. You are reminding but in an 2023 that your term will expire April. So Kayako, do you know that your term has expired? Akoyoko, it's been renewed. The Kayako, when was it renewed? Then Ramalakoko, call me back. So I'm not a conversation yet out. But
there's no government document.
It's unfortunate. I think member J, because I remember people questioning Alafenkoning appointment when he was after the 2021 elections, when going to the parliamentary election, and he came out to say that Alatambe expired 2023. Even 2025 interviews, so I remember that very well when he said he has up to 2023 for Alatambe expire. But you find it in Mujamami Hakilo Tuato. Because coming even NPP la Congress whole balia, at some point Mujamami Hakilo Tuato, koitatale 2 years colloquially without any Congress. Because initially when it was raised, it meant 2 years sotonu. This was October 2021. And the NPP came out. Even though the groups wrote to the IEC, but NPP came out to respond to say, no, don't mang 2 years sort of follow. But then Cabinet December election time, it 2 years sort of the group wrote again, NPP say Manson Kadiam de Bederi. Near MPP called Ninga no, Alta IEC and Dolden. But initially they were the ones that responded. So Kujamalka Kiyamanko election and Luaka violate because I remember even that Congress whole barrier, I raised it on the Standard newspaper. Then I think a week later or so, IEC came out to say they have already started engaging NPP for your Congress whole. So Kuelaka Kiyamanko Luaka Tinyale. And of course, like I said, I think one of our sources here, shortly before the parliamentary election. For me, if Aliou Momodou Njie, I think, to be honest, Natarununko principles, so I think he should just quit this position because, I mean, there have been instances where his own communication director confirmed that there are political, well, I don't even want to call them political parties. I think there are groups of individuals, they call themselves political parties, that are in constant violation, broad daylight violation of the Elections Act. They are not abiding by the Elections Act. They are not having regional offices. Sometimes they call Congress where it's easy to do. What they do is they gather in one hotel hall and then delegates all someone from other political parties are so-called invitees. Well, then they said, Congress. But then what I'm trying to say is that if the electoral body itself is coming out to acknowledge that there are political parties in this country that are not abiding by the Elections Act, I think that is a serious concern. And that same body is silent on that. They're not applying the law accordingly. And sometimes, to be honest with you, Jama, they model le punish, mostly opposition. But the new incumbent, it seems like they are very flexible with the rules with regards to that. So, is a concern, and I think every Gambian should start up to make sure that, look, at the time from expertal already. So for me, I don't know what will be the, I'm not a lawyer, but illegally is occupying the position then.
Natra nayatra bari yemin for nata 2016 la contract 2023 anyanta expire.
Aka mistake talenu, sorry.
Aka mistake talenu. But sila natra wolom. Natra la contract expired in April 7th. Election of Minkanana Ateleka declare, and the only person who declares candidates will win on the chief electoral officer, who is the IEC chairman. Is that not anything serious that we should all look at? Ah, okay.
I don't know hashtag government Gambia mbojo nation lati. Wala finti kam dorong. Kube kuto asake Gambia damale molia songala. Man sama mbesiri nga wati wadamale. So nyantam fangol le korosi la kuke. Fonna banko ala ko jarta nye kula le bang. Fonna politiko a jarta nye kula le bang. Because ibe men foka niaje man la fika diamu. Ete be nyin kacha men fika ngalong ali mo manjabi la moy kelale. Asake no be ideas dealers how to circumvent some of these lacunas. Sonte jam fala you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Membe ja ali mo war njay daji katala ke ba kulungolen tapale molen sunya sungolem anim baroy na carte faylo sunya 2021 ya joko diatela so men diatebe wala kala sa membe je même fangat na mala fika jam faje ni ate bondi je men nyanta sela je asake no ate fanga ifisa wati so Gambia no le nyanta wulla nga ken na hajoti ko IEC virus membe je nga antivirus ta nga sene yandi 7 January 2026 unfortunately la be koleala le ka tu menu nyanta to nyaara fala ntema ndata jele wolko to nyaate fala ka tu a whole electoral petition iman kuma sote be mem fala for a silly technicality iko wala ne man kiti yo daele. So the situation of mento nyanta sila dole nyinila. There are 1,000 ways to solve any problem. We need to sit down, reassess ourselves, revitalize
you opposition have a role. Opposition, to be honest, Sabally, ngatonya for you. Opposition or atul fanang.
Bela mo ikan neba.
Okay, mela mo ikan.
I am opposition. Nga for loko menyanta kela man. But the point is, ndemo opposition leti. Nga for le menyanta kela man nyana ke. Ole manke. Baramanke opposition damati nga for a top journalist recently like this illegal voter registration mo munyi banku dingoti banko la ko jarte yala ise wuli no le fang that foolish NGO imam wuli jang instead of the government hold to account nga janda malaje molka for try to hold the opposition to account. I repeat malla fika jam fanyin koto because it's a idea di ñun la ima kala muta about these lacunas ngata na politiko ko to nga ali mo jaytu
ngatu je fola
yani ndatu no la je
okay so saying going forward
ndatu no la je yala opposition on civil society be le role so ta
yeah
ngo fole esa mbe menna nyin ko be na men 2 days before election there are lacunas in terms of legality. I don't want to go there. I don't want to give them ideas.
But muna ni manafika idea dile that will work
because you don't want to empower a thief because IEC they are an institution of thievery. That's it.
So you think it will work against you? But what I'm trying to say is that
I'm a politician. Anyway, nkata campaign yo lanse ta Kerr Serigne Bantaba na candidate bu ba
yalo mbe tembo minto fon election of tembo do kal tili jelle desta bi mo alam so
tili fula wala na nyantam bula ngata campaign yo la
election
Sabally continue
NPP mol ko ni ya jalbe nyin kuma bal be fula ba fula voter buying albe sila rene because biro mimbe lorin kuke yale koy buko biro ni daken sango boy e ko banyun ko kuma staka wuri journal e ko be voter buying tonya mi nyunu samba police is not UDP left away senia honorable Tumanjai atele ala constituency aketa wolto Banjul South atele tata police ayafuko andum fanang voters card recovery from that Mr. Gay Antuman you know Ngom, Antuman Ngom. They recovered voters card. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, Uncle Antuman. A voters card recovered from Antuman Ngom. So that shows because something happened. Ngajele ko GDC ko Natalie strong statement bondika ko very strong statement. Ngajele fanan ko BUDP more ala mole issues fenko kele kuno NPP ifana statement bondile ka foko kumo nyamanke tonyati and bi ala mole na ka reinforce in fact Banjul chairman Mr. what's the name the guy the member of Banjul nyata tola ala chairman in Banjul yes the press statement kele ka funke but how significant is this voter buying to think is going to affect the elections?
I think it's really significant. And NPP in Kolko mbe wuri kanne. Ning ning petitif menuka adu kalpeke natra wolem sungoti membe tambike la dato amanjari yesila bari Alibaba and the 40 thieves ni wollota hanila sate obundato e nyantale wuli because NPP yesu nyaro menke Gambia la political tariko tanana manke we know no election is perfect but menketa 2021 it's completely unprecedented so nin nata si nata NPP ko anila nying agent soul nata farol lem nyunti ñunte sonna fang itoye kata kuwa kula regarding electoral malpractice bari nga jele be menke kan ka IEC call ka foy ko al UDP la candidate reject ka kodo ta kata mul sang ka foy ko al withdraw banjul ngaje mo fintita abe tarteo sankang nata banjul da malem fase ko nte noise maker but URR se humbalo bi jele and one of President Barrow's close associates me alon ko betara o katara tapale ya business o da male kono yalon banjul ko 500 URR be 800 le di kam pa voters card so ni wobe caring na makan kenyin quota doya tale ndeda mada mafa nyanta membe kala make NPP call yaron ba fokan ko the fact that NPP when was the last time you saw NPP do a press release on anything the fact that NPP will tell for once kanyin ko jabi wala tandiko they ask as guilty as charged at ye memfo natra UDP ko le ako nyi nyaton kaya fang hani santo nya beje bari sa foko okay it's a mallem but mole wulta me yaron ka mantra UDP anana mantra UDP but banko la ko jarta ele pura mamma okay honorable Tumanjai right now in fact ani Mohamed Kante they are my favorite deputies at the National Assembly patriots courageous
your party lost two of its candidates in CRR
yes
and well there are allegations or speculations out there that Mulie Sanne but some we don't know exactly why they decided to withdraw. I mean, don't you think that even though you have some that have not withdrawn, they will contest the election? Yamida UDP as a party, a last selection or what will be become money al bulubang, albika mulji be melialonko really they genuinely belong to the party. Sometimes for no what do be dulado la come Londi la jolon just for the sake of K Londi. So that can I don't know because people are questioning these people whether they really belong to the party. Why would they leave the party withdraw from the last minute?
As a management is never perfect. So managing a political party like the UDP nationwide going to carton. Vice Chancellor of UTG cannot control space of lecturers. Imantambi Kemela. So ni UDP sota rosoro na candidate ko ramanya na moja kala. Actually UDP this time around, like I said, for always UDP is evolving, is rebranding, is getting better by the day. There is no perfect system or institutions, but I can vouch for the leadership of the United Democratic Party that the selection process of these councillors has been the best that has ever happened in the history of the country. And I say that because we are the standard bearers, we set the standards. Kuoku keta party especially in the main rivals, is along cut, copy and paste, even in the executive structure. I think UDP did a phenomenal job in screening all these candidates. And if you have 102 nationwide with your resource constraints, 2 were withdrawn by financial inducement, I say congratulations to lawyer Usain Udabo and the executive of the UDP for being able to maintain 100 despite all the challenges and a government that's corrupt to the core, that has a lot of money by fair and foul means to do whatever. But even Sidinja Yemeng induced to withdraw. I'm not angry against him, Yahya. So I spoke to him personally. He was happy that I called him. And we were not resting on our laurels, by the way. We had intelligence, real-time intelligence. His demeanor, his feelings, I knew everything.
It happened in your presence?
I'm telling you, I got real-time intelligence.
Okay.
Before it happened, I knew it was about. I spoke to the boy, he assured me. We spoke to the boy's father, he assured us. But the guy went back again with a better financial offer. If you threaten a young Gambian that if you don't take this step, we'll fire your father, what would you do? Especially a Gambian in the rural areas and the cultural norms. And that's why I say Yahya G. Sow, what he did is wrong. I'm not condemning him. I actually sympathize with him. I know Yahya is miserable right now. But happy enough that we had another guy, even more influential from the same community, Musa Cham, who came and volunteered.
But he was rejected.
He was rejected by the convenience of the returning officer, Mr. Dal, just like he said. He said he has 2 provisions to rely on. is relying on the most convenient. And it was obvious that he got a call from the powers that be because he started admitting our candidates' papers, checking off everything.
Because I was watching it on camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he got a call. He went inside. He came to confess that they are going through consultations. He rejected that. So that's the guy at Nyanija. The other at Njia Ward, similar thing. If I fielded in 102, I have 100. That's an A+. Congratulations, lawyer.
Already, so UDP,
yes.
Already NPP is +2 against you.
Well, I'm not even sure if they are +2. Fatou, if you really read the political map, before I was rejected for the Busumbala constituency nomination, UDP, our base, was really struggling to recover from the...
Demoralized.
Demoralized from the
presidential
mass rigging of the election. But it is quite obvious for any observer that my rejection actually energized not only UDP, but even non-UDP voters. In the same vein, the rejection of Musa Cham, I know, has energized the base in Nyani. And mind you, local government elections can be different from these other ones. These are community initiatives.
Yeah.
The people of Nyanija are not happy with Sidin Jai. And rejecting a son of Nyanija, who is even at a higher level in terms of the social pecking order, has really angered the people of Nyanija. And I believe that's going to be reflected in the votes that will be cast, not just in Nyanija, but in URR, in CRR, in Nyamina Dankunku, where we had another young man who I'm really proud of, and I've called him now, I've labeled him the Barodi of Gambian politics. And he's from Nyamina Dankunku, a fuller young guy, Alaji Jalo, who was pursued by Dusano, another National Assembly member of the NPP era. They offered him $200,000. He rejected it, and he needs that money. But he said, no, I'm not going to do this. He said, I believe in my country. I want to help my community. So the other withdrawal in Jao actually energized this other guy to reject. And the speech that that guy gave in Nyamina Katamina in my presence yesterday is going to further embolden our voters and our candidates to reject moral bankruptcy and political banditry.
Mr. Sabally, is it that legal groundworks ke jannal ka, so because one, you were rejected.
Yes.
I'm coming. Nyimfanang ya reject. Musa Cham is being rejected.
Yes.
Is it that Albekal do work legally before getting to this stage? Because I'm coming. Because these people always rely on the law. Whether
so you think the
no Mafoka corrected. I'm saying I'm not a lawyer. Okay, but it can lower the side. Kafoko relate on Yinekan.
Adi katara to nyaleka.
And Mafika, sabi even la mo ila drong. Even mo na kumo.
Kachalem de.
Even na kumo fudana.
No, kachalem.
It can rely on Waleka. It can side. Nindo is section 52 left side. It is section on the side. And then you challenge it. And we were rejected.
By a mercenary judge.
Well, mercenary judge, we were rejected. Another Nindo fanang alia appeal.
Yes.
And we are not so where because I see telephone. Sinning election of Mamida. At any point, because being a ballot box or baby takam. I don't think Allah candidate or a chance sort of puruka law. Allah faka melondi. But is it that UDP, Albekan yung call tentem bang aliajibe legally, whether you have a ground?
It's very easy and convenient to pick on UDP's errors. Because
pick your errors?
Ninda mobe kering ibe sirim bantara eteleka huolje so membeje is not an issue of legal competence. Menketa wala batara yale be kering banko kan anu mobe ya lone anana manke dunia la tarikoto yekiti yo samba dalilol bebulu eko technicality. For isita president wala da konkong ina nyo ko
abay mandra president mandra election for president
no legal issues la
no rejection of candidates mandra
it's a legal issue based on the legal instruments.
Okay, go ahead.
But la lawyer li karantele la do ko no le
defo ñu question le Sabally nko ali batuma la lawyer ba Usenu dawa gambia ba fonko gambia lawyer ba lawyer Bori Touré mobe sonda ko lawyer balon lawyer la min je da bo bije
baba ninjo
ba no baba dinin tije baba dinin no baba dinin tije ya ko da
baba be ninje le kabri
no baba dinin tije
lawyer dol be mbulu fangal mam
lawyer dol fanam bije lawyer siata
gambia ning abroad ibije yela do ko wono le ay facture man din ko nin jalo singo be foran ko abuka je batara ya wole be banko kan an example wole ngakitio samba alkitio yele ikate kela ntel lamoy la wi at you quote Usenu Dabo's own statement, we were pushed away from the seat of justice. To quote him again, in the case of my illegal detention, to charge me for treason, a judge will okay. Nga lawyer jabe paramilitary blame la bi. the abuse of power, human rights abuse, or not just the paramilitary. We pick on them because they cheat from poor family backgrounds. The judiciary was used under Jammeh as mercenaries. They're doing the same thing. We are keeping quiet about it. These people are using mercenary judges. And you know what Amadou Tal said when we presented our candidate? He said there are 2 sections.
Yeah.
But I'm relying on the most convenient. And he told the guy, because I actually made sure the conversation was prolonged.
Yeah.
So that we hear him out. He said he's using the most convenient on an issue as fundamental as a human right to stand to be elected. He said he's using convenience. And he said, I don't necessarily believe he's right, but that's what he said. He said you will appeal. If your appeal is rejected, you cannot do anything about it. I don't think he's right, but this is the conviction of the people who have decided to sell their souls to the devil, and they should know better. But there's nothing you will do in this world by selling your soul to the devil. And this guy was doing what he was doing because he knows he has the backing of Dawda Jallow and the corrupt gang in the borough administration who will influence the judicial processes to favor the powers that
Sabally, do you disapprove mercenary judges? Do you disapprove?
I take it as a rhetorical question, just like you did.
Okay.
You were asking me about our lawyers. Our lawyers are more competent than any group of lawyers in this country. But the state is influencing the judicial process so that we are disadvantaged. And this should not be a problem for only UDP. It should be a problem for every Gambian with a conscience.
Now, going forward, Jojo Dukare will to Jojo la ko tuje te buka Jojo ma de
Ndeman silera de Momodou Sabally ya ko samna wati mbatte
de buka Jojo okay se bombe Jojo de buka Jojo ma ngata. Now talking about politics, some sibitolo election not yalo atol alko kien la deposito fixed deposit presidential election
no man ki jara fanan keje malum mun kule be nin ki yankol te you always want to make them look good.
No,
it's not just
but Jara you have not sit there.
Yes, but I yin ka rote
no mal fixed deposit.
Yes.
Presidential royal wife National Assembly entire il faut Jara man fenso to fokk
no Jara man fenso ki am kula be bulo to
Jara al man fenso je al to deposito loose tal and kana local government. So the trend has continued from the presidential to the National Assembly election. What do you expect? Let's look at this region by region. Ibota Tola, you are the campaign manager. This is your first election. This is your first election as campaign manager. It's a test of your ila do ko fana. Itata banko tamale yemune je banko kan yemune miracle UDP be wala sotola ni election.
Njikitale ko ning kartewol kasabita UDP will get a landslide victory in terms of the number of ward councillors that will be elected.
Yeah.
Be men sotala wole be siala mo dol barona la uning opposition dol be ni kafunto be men sotala wole be siala na jele na moile e kam men foko saying Como men sotata LRR presidential and parliamentary party yo party dol bije ki la koloya ko wol sotole Gambia carte faylal dol bije e ka carte o fay wala ka fay balia asatara amanke kuti membe bantala in LRR I will not mention any specific cases but we've had at least a case where the people felt
Charles look your signal be internet go ahead
where the people felt that the person they voted for did not represent them well and they did not vote for the government but they refused to vote and for me in as much as it's a setback Italy to for Malafika na candidate so na regional bele kanyantanya so prunte esa it may be a loss as you said a setback for us but the prunte wo carte failal wala ko yense wo bakele because democracy tambitale mol yesembo dila yesembota ye fannafa ye do ko men dila iman sonna kela so those challenges bijele ban tol fana man si kabri waketa o musanji kilin ko manale kachal ketale even this selection process wala nanka fo esa ko na in selection process it was one of the most rigorous because jama ni mobe sirin siran kan buke bondije nke bulale ye siran ngini kotenke but this time the sukuta damande yes sukuta long ya lon sukuta fangala mole be woto la misanya ki anko like interestingly esala mol buka sound you know so sukuta damande even nyani where Usainu is from na incumbent bondijele the people were not happy but we felt that this is what the voters want so it's like
who are the people that are not happy
Well, some of our own people may along ko will lebe patioto. Ye mota I cartio for ya je ko ala first time. Itolia mira abiduko kela.
They are not happy with him. No, I thought maybe you were saying Allah abondo man happy one.
No. So will be but of course as I know ke fanang wo fanang be bading also to that. So wala nang ka fo ko UDP la selection committee ye do ko kende baleke adum man la parti be caring me do ko ke menke because wo even do be selection committee aman die bari ya jele ko kabrin parti wala ye menu bula nyin do ko wala isita e kambenta nyina ndaketa je nte fangon na nyin part of it wala ni mole kacha ka je ko bawo parti yo tompondiro kele mo kana finti ikalo as independent because ni okay ye parti yo le so yenna amirul mu'minin le so Ousseynou Dabo adin jikita ko
akam da Allah parti problem o bejere
parti problem just like Allah parti nin koy kon na problem parti tije na parti problem tije nga fan yale fo
Allah mo farmasari mba West Coast me alon kala fa ko
esa ya alon kabrin ko be diamu la
ko fale mba fale a finde da ko Allah candidato
amam finti diamu kesande
okay a finde da
amam finti ate man finti
okay fa dumale
ya jam fa ale ko mo finti da
bari a fole ako Allah candidate element select Allah West Coast among competent
Can I just pick this call? Might be information relevant to the election.
Go ahead.
So I meant for
Go ahead.
I meant for Ole Muko, ila candidate for West Coast region is not competent, and he is campaigning for the other one. Abe Molbe Kumandila la Puria Cartel Fai NPP la candidate on here, which is really unfortunate. And I don't know. It seems like a UDP. Well, one thing I know about the party, I'm observe Ole Muko, eke la problem ole ka handle no le demanding. Compared to a lot of parties in this country, in the OGB, a problem. But they have some of the trust issue. At some point, just like other political parties experience in this country. Because in the OGB, okay, NPP, for example, in selection, especially West Coast. Yeah, we know that controversy, but West Coast was so controversial. But UDP, if you look at it, and then it all number left on the mail application. Okay, I mean UDP, I think up to 18 people showed interest. But yeah, Kelefa, Banta, Emandia, Momai. But then NPP capital, I think 8 or 9 or 12 of them, I don't know. Initially interest show problem would not create. But it seems like there is trust issue in UDP, especially if you have such a man that is scattered journey, of course. Being in the party, I think even in the executive also, I think he's an executive member, coming out to say that ala deputy nying, Mayor Alonko, Aniwole Doko, under him, is not competent. Coming out to publicly say that, I mean, yeah, because it's out in the public. It's out in the public. Coming out, like Allah candidate on Ying, man competent. And that most nyanta cartel filer CDN. Probably, I'm not saying certainly, but probably scattered Bediamakang on behalf of a whole group of people or good number of UDPians.
I'm glad you're saying probably.
Yeah, probably, because Malong is not with certainty.
How competent
probably
is
he's speaking with on behalf of a good number of UDPians who don't believe that Yankuba is competent.
How good is Yankuba?
He's better than any other candidate being put up by NPP in any of the regions of this country.
How about other parties?
Yankuba is...
Eco NPP, how about other parties?
Let me answer the question.
Anyway, Eco NPP, but qualify.
As antemu national campaign manager, so opposition all, ntol fana be dabe fule keline, so ntol dal, nte min me alon ko fang kar, ita fayla UDP, afay opposition dolie. So men kata Yankuba Dabo, professionally, intellectually, he's beyond reproach. Well educated, practicing law in England, he would have sat down in his comfort zone in England. He's doing his job as a lawyer, practicing here, winning cases, contributing to the public discourse to enrich the dialogue of the country. And being bold enough to leave his comfort zone to come here and stand for election. Anybody who is saying that Yankuba is incompetent, Yankuba is 1,000 times more competent than you. Yankuba, even if you look at the track record of the person accusing him of incompetence, you will see Yankuba's output far outweighs his output, even though Yanks was supposed to be his,
no, that's my boss.
His deputy. You know, so I think, actually, I don't want to dwell on this much, But since SI is insisting... I think, to his credit, scattered from the leaking of the audio to the subsequent lack of comment from Scattered, it shows that he has regretted it. I think the audio was not meant for public consumption. And I'm not justifying what he did. What he did is wrong. But if what we say off the camera were all to be brought here on Kerr Fatou, my friends, some of our friends will not be talking to us. You know, so again, I'm not justifying what Scattered did. But the fact that somebody leaked it, and I know that Scattered was not happy that this audio was leaked, I think it's an error. I am not accepting what Scattered did. I'm not giving any excuse. It's wrong, especially to the point of trying to say things about Yanks Daba, which are definitely not true. I think it's very unfair to Yanks. But the point, what you were saying, the suggestion of the probability, which you accepted, it's not certain that Scattered might be speaking for some people. No. If you know the person that this audio was sent to, that guy, there is nobody campaigning for Yanks Daba more than Scattered has failed in whatever bid. Was Scattered, actually, to be honest, let me not go far on him. I think he's been in our party. He's done quite well. I totally condemn what he did. I hope he does better next time. The base is there. Even the guy who was, you know, Scattered was talking to somebody, asking him, I'll not campaign CDA. That person is campaigning for Yanks Daba more than Momodou Sabally as national campaigner. So Scattered has failed.
Now let's look at the regions. Banjul, during the National Assembly election, NPP Manfen Sotoje, Fenko Kanale, Todo, News Council Saturday. What do you foresee in Banjul? I'm
expecting a landslide for UDP in Banjul. I think we'll get the majority of councillors in Banjul, inshallah.
KM?
KM, I'm expecting another.
Out of 19, there's 19.
KM, I think...
You guys have about 14, 15, I think, right now.
Certainly a landslide. Certainly a landslide in KM as well, both in the ward councillorship and the mayoral, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
URR? No, West Coast.
West Coast, again, we are coming with a landslide there. We'll get the majority of the seats.
How can you say go a landslide in all this region? Combo?
If you give me Busumbala constituency, Sane Mentereng, Combo East, and I'm giving you areas where we have incumbents, Brikama South, Brikama, ni olbe bondije, mune tutaje.
Combo,
Fonyi, even Fonyi we're expecting to pull up a surprise. I will not go into the details because NPP, they are watching right now. But even
is definitely not alliance.
What I am saying, telling you that we're expecting to pull a surprise, call me on Saturday evening, inshallah. But even in areas where we don't do well in Fonyi, I'll be more than glad for No to Alliance to sweep it rather than for this Baro corruption kafo to win anything there. So West Coast also is a failure for Baro.
But URR is a no area for you guys.
URR will pull a surprise there as well.
No,
the political dynamics has changed in URR. I said I'm getting a landslide in Banjul, in KM. Did I say I'll get a landslide in URR?
No, you didn't say that.
I'm not going to sit down
URR,
here just to say
CRR,
NBR?
CRR, I think we're going to win in CRR as well. We'll get the majority of seats in CRR.
In CRR?
I believe CRR.
Both North and South?
We'll have CRR as a total, we'll get the majority of seats. Inshallah. 2
days before election jam. Seko go UDP te 5 fonds sotola.
Well, ntema foko NPP te 5 sotola. Kole ko. Men CRR sirangol to CRR to leba sotola.
CRR.
CRR inshallah. Kunu ne botaje.
So NBR do.
NBR, NBR. NBR is quite interesting, Esa. NBR, a month or 2 ago, I was a bit concerned. But kabrin fango finditam futata NBR ngam menjeje wallahi ay nyafa bake njikira ko NBR fanam be gagner la jele will have more ward councillors than NPP in NBR. What I saw in areas where really they were no-go areas for us before, like the Medina ward, where we have a young guy by Njagatala, one of the smartest young men I've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, Fatou, I wish you listened to this guy's speech on the stump about the concerns and priorities, ideas and ideals of the people of Medina. You'll be blown away. The crowd I saw there, we cannot pull it off even during a presidential campaign. And the young people of Medina are solidly behind by Njagatala. And he's saying he's not in UDP just for this election. They're here to stay for good.
Sabally crowd is a problem for UDP. Alka crowd pull.
Esa, are you talking to me about crowds?
No, but presidential election. So if you want to rely on the same crowd.
Okay, can you listen to me? Fatou, I've spoken about several areas. Did you hear me mention crowd in any of those areas? I'm saying it in Medina City March for a reason. There are certain things that are incontrovertible.
But I'll kill you, Mambo crowd.
Menna ma for a crowd busumbala or yesunya rol ke dame ma wofo. Nko Medina City March me ya lonko odula sifa nin tata je. Hanika mo tansaba sota ka ke problem ot adu ma fo ko damale membe lorin je dingoleng fondin ke wolle ba noma NPP e baro men ke je katay fango yen masingo men di sate molla ka busi bulu jaharan iko wolbe karto fayla NPP yele kon te kana fo ko wolbe karto fayla ntolele come on man radiam kam so we have Medina City Mas is a trailblazer out there. You go to Badibus the same in Farafenye their biggest mouthpiece ngawole busi bulu arafang diba e ka fo me baba la commando. That was the guy using the radio stations to constantly bombard negative campaign against UDP. You go to Lower Badibu, we have Buba Makalo, who is not just a statistic, who influenced the destruction of the Alaji Jawara campaign in NBR. I'm not talking about crowds. I'm talking about results. We are winning. Make Alaji Jawara now retire.
Yalon dolo ko nyeko UDP comes to Arsenal. Arsenal football club.
Well, Arsenal is doing quite well. So I don't support them, but near UDP,
City is coming closer now. So
Arsenal for Africa for Moleka na close. Alhamdulillah, ngake Arsenal to the local government. Mambala wala. I'm sure Sisla will be proud of himself. That Esa is now calling his party Arsenal.
Arsenal support, but Baroka Arsenal support.
Arsenal support there. Baro Tata Sila was Sila Lantaka was Silo Bula. Then in a party land to Manchester United.
Sabally, what is your final campaign message to the people of the Gambia? I mean,
final campaign message. No, final
campaign message Musamal did it. No, be them.
Non tengantal kele from Pareta. Mi mufulan jamalti.
Ngajele bisomanda. We published something you said. Wake up Gambia. Good morning Gambia. Wake up. When you say wake up, what are you talking about?
Because mbesi no lela. Yalo menketa fatu. This electoral cycle. Mulu men kante call. Men yalo ko itolle ko. Presidential carte fay barole ye baro ma ko ile ka foreigner so register carte fay molle commandi o fay wolle ko nyakon dabota barola ka foto le dukare ntolte fintila na bari laftale al ye gagner menketa wolen gambia no le aje ko ni manke parti kuti marseau ma UDP ning NPP long lopitano ma UDP ning NPP long do ku so balia ama UDP aning NPP long so wala nante ko ni manke election ti ni mu referendum leti amay kiyankol ka fay referendum bo welen ibe carte o faylan sonta waram mansong adama baro anala kuruya aning ay molla fankoti nyamendi economy fo fengol da buka mano te sanna tulote sanna sukurote sanna fondinkeol la doku soto balia adum baro malom fondinkeol kono jumale doku soto anin jumama soto face simfa tano pourka o problème otaka solve barobe men naka fondinkeol anin tubabol ka tafaw ka fondinkeol murundi nanjang tapale yanin sunyaro men ko baroka data le kato ko Auditor General report wo mala mira ken sangolati musol membe fa kan tingoto musol dingol men fata acute kidney injury syndrome alla carte fay wala niya fay barola tombo ndin mole e contanta la nyin kukurol men bebe kering niya fay UDP anin kafunyol wolen ko membe kerim banko kan imal la fay lafta falingol la adum ala yebula walla surwal ko yala be satol inna allaha la yughayyiru ma biqaumin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim ala tajila na al halul faling Fungana al-halul falling. It's rampant corruption galore, sponsored and championed by Adama Barrow. It's youth unemployment and no plans for job creation for youths. It is the destruction of opportunities for young people, even to the level of opportunities for sports. We don't have a single proper stadium. Bakari Baji does not care about sports. Neither does Bakari Baji and Babukar Ismaila Youth care about youth employment, but they are all minions of one person, Adama Barrow, who is spearheading the destruction of this country because he feels he can go and seize $1 billion worth of pensioners' funds, splash it to corrupt businessmen to procure buses that he can perambulate with and block the entire traffic in the urban area when energy prices have gone up by 36%, water tariffs are up, fuel prices are up, but Barrow says he can display buses that the average Gambian cannot even afford to pay for. The referendum is there. You vote for Barros candidates, you want the status quo to continue. You vote for UDP and the opposition, you want change. And that change is what we believe in, and that change is what we will celebrate, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, Saturday by this time. Prepare my ndogo, I'm coming to
Saturday by this time, results will be streaming, but not final.
I would have known how many of my candidates win, because I'm not waiting for Ali Omar Manjai to announce my result, inshallah. Ise moringa.
Ngaseku maron kumandle election night.
Niseku maron mankiring, na mole mbari na mankiring.
Okay.
Niseku baya ju fana.
Referendum. 2021 was also referendum.
Yeah.
No, 2021 was a referendum gone haywire through rampant rigging and corruption.
But it was a referendum.
IEC.
For me, it was a referendum.
A referendum that saw the verdict of the people cheated away by electoral rigging, electoral malpractice.
Well, no evidence of that for now.
But this is the real deal, because our systems are ready. We have a software to monitor our election results and report to our election monitoring headquarters. We are not joking. Trust me.
So is this saying that Dabo comment when these people said that Usainu Dabo said he's going to declare his own results or whatever?
Have you ever known Usainu Dabo for joking?
So I'll
and watch. Unse mem for wole ngama singol le samanan to babol ka fo me software nya de
software
mul sa fa
ha kiangol man kan
mem ben na quartier kesol kasabila sibitu lungo ka je ko tapale yani sunyaro kanake adunte IEC batula ninga men kasabi ngaji ko wolen mba declare dale UDP ko alfinti ali carte o fay ko ina fo carton alla carte o atetula kala kala jito na diata ala inshallah
Musa wala baraka ila samne fo
I think it's still a referendum. Like you said, referendum like yes in the sense that Gambians will decide.
Esa akumata ngafu mule finti carte fay. Yalong local government ni ngfengol mul ka tayele buka finti.
Ha wakumata.
So akumata
and in fact CRPD Fenebondi ko Banjul had the highest in 2018 local government election. Only 47% turnout.
Wow.
You'll be shocked. 47% was the highest in the entire country. So so I mean, it's important more finti but I think also I am a bit optimistic that more finti la cardio fight. I think I'm not saying that the records are coming presidential. That's out of it. But I'm optimistic that this time around abe fisalale compared to 2018 local government elections because there are a lot of issues at stake as far as this election is concerned. So, but also I'm hoping that we will have a very peaceful election, a very free, fair, transparent, and credible election, because that is good for our democracy. But elections that are met with, frauds and all that can also affect the democracy, our democracy as a country. Well,
I just want to, because I think it's important, and that's a non-partisan message, for Gambians to come out and vote massively in the election. Whether you vote for my candidates or not, just go out and vote. We want to know what Gambians think of this government. We want to know what the Gambians think about the macroeconomic situation of this country and social services. We want to know what Gambians think about maternal mortality. Let's vote. Regardless of political party, just come out and vote.
And take a for what last election ngafule nin carte fayo sita ali sita soko na alman finti nimbe bankola kumo kachala hatolo kana dunye duka
exactly
because nimam participate in your civic duty mi alonko representative so le kamin carte fayo mine wala ketela baluo ila nyanto ila fengolu hani la domor fengol la fana la tala ye role soto jel nimam finti carte fayo duka nimbe bankola kumo fa wote kanafu katuko itenyenta minke lema oke anu banku diwo banku din sanjilu le ka finti ka nyinke woto nima nyinke council le feo fenke la council sto for the next 5 years nima kuran nati la imam marse nati man silo nati kana femfo kati te me da dunje wala na kumayata mulbe finti the councils are closest to the people wala na kumayata mole finti kata local government elections la amba fola mobe happy election in advance nga kate faynen Cairo kono la anin tenku kono ni min gagné ta nga celebrate kate fayo ni free and fair wala ben democracy sembentu yala ngalten honorable thank you very much for coming ami nyanta nala numbara man na be campaign wala but
well na system ba for good luck with the campaign afanang fonyinkol alfintale kate fay mo be finto e karto fayda wala nako bar ami mbari muso le nganyanta na la manyano nga understand mbe duala ya fana mbe ko to fala sa so nyato tala je ala sa sutra ya tanka.
Thank you very much to the technical team. Thank you very much. See you next week. We will be here election night. I will not be here, but the other
yes, I will be here, right?
Election crew will be here. I will be coming at the mayoral election. Good night to you all. Bye-bye.
Airport Residency Estate is a gated community located in Olyundum, proudly developed by Swami India, perfect for all looking for a quiet life with luxury amenities within an enclosed setting. When talking about the benefits of living in a gated community, safety and security is top on the list. They allow extra privacy, take away the hustle of unwelcome solicitors, and create a safe haven for children to play in a trusted environment without traffic or speedy vehicles. A great sense of community develops through the meeting at a controlled communal leisure facilities, offering an integrated lifestyle. A green environment and well-managed communal areas are keys to higher home standards, elevated quality of life, and better property value should you consider home reinvestment in the future. Added to all is the location, just next to the airport and reconstructed main road, yet tucked in the tranquility of nature. Our purpose is one: your satisfaction. Contact us. Let us help you build your dream home in the Gambia.
yiriwa men kafutan na tarambuloluto nga GIA cargo complex parendile pour que julaya sone yandi kadungoni mfunti bundana doko sembentu ya Banjul International Airport to men si nyafa si moluma melka fengolu ki bantala bankolu kan anin julandingolu fana faisi sula na cargo doko le bang katu masingolu bembulule ikafome ye forklifts melka selendiro ni jindiro ke bagasolu la melbe funti kan waranto ka dunnan na warehouse lu kono nga dinkira sumayari ngolu fana sotole ifula milla fano mu metar kemeleti karo bela adun isi cargo bagasolu tano men sita fo ton tan woro ila sumaya fana futata tembeleto men ka fendolu mabono fo ikana tinya fo sene fengol lombang domari fengolu waranto jata kende ani bori ma fengolu kago bagasolu la taradula kendo asulata jamani laban korosir langolu lela na double view x-ray korosir la masingolu aka kago bagaso kono jubele komi kago doko sartolu ya landi nyameng nyin double view x-ray amu jamani laban rapid scanaleti men ka karafula korosiro keno kago sifa bela wati kilngo kono to na doku lalo imu ayata karandingol leti yela dokuo no iframansata kago dokuo na tamandiri nyato na dokuo la betea wayem futandi RA3 makamoleto mensatin na fo nse kago bagasolu kinole kata UK aning EU bankolu kan GIA ka hakeli tenkungo dila na dokuo to ite nyina la men.
Every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best, and to see possibilities on the horizon, to make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy, that daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements, merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.